Yo, tonight we got the Bronx homie, journalism god, podcaster, author.
You know what I'm saying? Host of the Emmy-winning All In with Chris Hayes.
What's his name? Chris Hayes.
Chris
Yo, Chris Hayes, come to the table. Yeah! Hey, the reunion. Ah, my guy.
We back.
How you guys doing?
Shout out to Miss Bannerman's class. We back in this bitch. Yeah.
How much Latin do you remember?
None.
None.
Why were they teaching us Latin?
Dude, I got a show tonight, man.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go, Chris.
got a show
Go,
right now?
Chris. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
My guy.
But I'm here.
So everyone wants to know, what was I like in middle school?
You know what? You were a polite, kind, and well-behaved young man.
You know, I remember that.
I'm serious.
I won an award for most polite. It was like, and I was like, yo, this is the wackest fucking award they give out.
Did we have a most polite?
Yeah,
award?
it was in Miss Gersh's class.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that worse than perfect attendance? Or was
Yeah.
perfect attendance was
Yeah.
bottom?
That just means I'm an ass kisser. Like I get a teacher gives you a scantron, you're like, thank you.
I was like,
Yo.
Miss Gersh, is there any homework today?
So what is like, because now you're on MSNBC and people see you and they think you're a nerd, but your background, you were in some rough schools.
I know.
You grew up in the Bronx. You were in Co-op City.
You know what my favorite? I don't know if I've told this to you before, but my favorite when I tell people when we were in the high school at Truman.
Oh yes, which you people this is how real shit was. Our junior high school had wild asbestos.
Right.
So they made us for a full year. We were on the top floor of a high school. We never went out for lunch. We never went out for recess, and we were always hanging out with high school kids.
Like playing craps.
Playing craps. Shit was wild.
Like literally as a fifth grader. Like during
wow.
gym.
Yo, Chris needs that.
He's got the hot hand in the dice game.
Come on. They call me Chris Hayes, baby.
Exactly.
About to smoke y'all.
I, of course, didn't know the rules. Either,
Right.
So it was like money gone after 10 minutes. But yeah, those schools were, I mean, I love that place, though.
That was it. That was an experience.
It was a little.
And this is the wild part. Yo, every girl had a crush on Chris.
You remember this. I don't remember it that way.
Because I was like, yo, fam, there was this one
you're the
girl.
guy- when you're the guy
This
with
one
the
girl,
crush-
and like, she was like, yo, I was like, yo, who do you like? And she was like, I'm gonna tell you my crush tomorrow. And I was like, all right. I mean, I. And then the next day, she was like, Chris Hayes. I was like, fuck. Also, I didn't realize you were white until 7th grade. I was like, he's light skinned, y'all.
That's part of the Italian.
Yes. I was like, that's the homie.
He's light skinned.
Oh my God. So what's the difference between living in the Bronx and living in Brooklyn?
Well, I mean, Brooklyn these days, I mean, nowhere is like, I think it's fair to say, nowhere is like the Bronx in the 1980s.
Right.
Really anymore. I mean, for good and for ill. It's very chill out where I live in Brooklyn. I live just south of Prospect Park. It's
Right.
like, it's a funny neighborhood. It's this old like cop and firefighter neighborhood. So it's not like a neighborhood that's like undergone transition, you know what I'm saying? Like they have fourth generation, like there are teachers in my kids' school who live in the house that their great-grandparents lived in.
Like, yeah, I've been here.
Yeah, exactly.
This is my, I didn't move here from Iowa, pal.
Exactly right.
Yeah, all right. So move fucking, they got garbage in front of my sidewalk. I'm gonna get a fine from the sanitation department.
Exactly right.
Oh man, how's MSNBC nowadays?
We're good, man. I mean, it's crazy right now. The sort of tempo of politics coverage is wild.
I watched the show and like it's breaking news as you're doing the show.
Yeah, always.
Like you're like, oh shit, Trump tried to buy Mars.
What the fuck?
Like how do you deal with that at this point?
By a tweet.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, what the fuck?
What's that like? Like if say Trump tweets while your show is going on at the time.
I think we have taken an approach. I think we and the rest of the news, to a certain extent, has just taken an approach that like not everything he tweets is news.
Right.
Right? Because otherwise you'll just be chasing yourself and your own tail all the time. Like you got to have a little bit of discipline. He has no discipline. The thing about him is because he has such a terrible personality, he I don't mean that as like a political determination.
That's
like there are people who have good politics.
I don't think anyone would disagree with you.
Yeah, no.
But like because this happens in other parts of your life. Like if this happens in people's families, like it happens in relationships. Being around a person with toxic tendencies brings out bad features of other people's personality. You know what I mean? Like if you've had a friend that's dating someone that's kind of toxic, and then they start acting, the whole country is going through that all the time now.
The whole country has a terrible boyfriend right now.
Exactly.
We have a horrible boyfriend, but his name is on the lease.
And we gotta wait until the lease is up.
Yeah, or else we're fucked.
All right. So we do our show to tape. You do yours live.
Yes.
What's that like?
You know, it's funny.
Is
One of
there
the
a
things I
takeaway?
admire watching you guys, like you have, like I like the way that your show, you guys are just, you're riffing, and then you have that margin. You know, if you go too far.
Right.
Not that you guys ever go too far, but.
What?
Somebody said that baby.
Oh, right, wow. I apologize, Chris.
Luckily, I watched enough to know that reference. Otherwise, I'd be like,
Yeah, I'm out of here.
no, but you can.
I think Chris Matthews also used that sound clip the other day.
Oh yeah. That's our lead tonight. Cuba in the club. No, we
Have you visited Cuba?
No, but the thing is, when you sometimes we watch Barack Obama in interviews, particularly now, you can see he's doing this buffering thing. So he's bringing a sentence down to his head, and then he's scanning it.
Yeah.
And he's thinking about what it's going to do. Is it going to make news? Do I want to say that thing? And then he's saying it. And there will be these long pauses sometimes in between sentences because he doesn't want to go.
That's when he hits the.
Exactly. And if he puts the foot in the wrong place, like it could be a whole news cycle.
Right.
So it's not quite that on a live show, but it is that in some ways. Like every sentence you say, that's it.
Yeah.
Like once it's out of your mouth,
It's out there.
you can't get it back. And there's 2 million people watching. Like you can say the wrong thing very
Right.
easily. So there's a certain kind of mental focus. Like that's part of the reason I like doing the podcast. For
Right.
the same reason. You could do it. Sometimes an interview doesn't go that well, or
could
it's
edit
slow, and it's like, all right, well, we'll cut that down.
Right.
Yeah. Like this would be tough on live TV.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, slurring the words.
But today,
Where was Sonny Bernstein?
this is Vince for today.
I like the Bernie interview.
Thank you.
That was great.
That was a fun interview.
great.
Because we went in there and we didn't, we done the research.
The funny thing about Bernie is that he's got such a his persona is so strong. But he's obviously a more complex person than the persona. And I
Right.
feel like you get a little bit of that when you're around him.
I feel like people just put him in like the Jewish uncle box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, Jewish uncle.
Right, yeah.
Like political
Social
Larry
shield
David.
uncle,
Yeah,
yeah,
socialist
Uncle
Larry
Sal.
David. Yeah.
Have you, of all the presidential candidates you've interviewed, like, what's the pecking order? Like, who's been the strongest interview?
Who got the juice?
Who's the one that you were like, wow?
I think, I think here's one thing I'll say. I think everyone in some ways is stronger in long-form interview formats than they are in the debates.
Definitely, because they're just doing talking points.
Yeah, because its time is so truncated. It's not really anyone's fault. You just
Right.
kind of have to do it like that. It's always striking to me, like when you have a candidate, you get talking points from them, or you see their ads, or you see them on the stump, and they're saying the same thing. It is striking, and this is true of Cory Booker. It's true of Kamala Harris and Amy Klobuchar and Warren and Buttigieg and Sanders. When you talk to them at length, say 15 minutes on a topic, more often than not with the Democratic field, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a legit person. This is a serious person who's given serious thought to this and knows what they're talking about. And part of what makes the political scenario so weird right now is just the difference between that and the president.
Right.
Like when you watch the Democratic debate, it's like all these people who are just doing kind of normal politician stuff. Like
Right.
I thought about how we should pay for our child care.
They have actual policy.
Credit. Yeah, and it's just like not like that on the other side.
Not anymore.
It was like, more tartar sauce on the filet fish. We're amending the Second Amendment to include
My
filet fish.
favorite picture of him ever taken in his presidency is the omelet bar pic. Do you know that pic?
Oh, no.
It's the best. He spent the night at some Trump golf property, and then he's the president of the United States, but he's also the owner. He's also a guy who wants to hit up the omelet bar.
Right.
And there's a picture of him at like one of his own golf properties, just like chilling at the omelet bar. He's got his
waiting
nice
for the
phone.
omelet?
Yeah. Just like throw some extra mushrooms in there.
Wow.
Like there he is. He's got his like dollars like neatly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he carries money.
Yeah.
He's the only president I've ever seen that carries cash. Like,
Yeah.
You're the president, motherfucking.
You never know. You never know when an omelet bar is gonna pop up.
damn.
If you're the president, you gotta pay for something. Your approval rating is probably.
Pretty much. You can't go like, yo, I'm good.
At your own property.
Is this him at the omelet bar? Look at him.
There he is. There he is.
shit.
Look at him.
Oh, look at the flick of the wrist.
So good.
He didn't even trust an aide to do it. He was like, no, I got this.
No, he's like, I got this.
Yeah.
I got
this.
He's
this.
like, yeah, listen,
They gotta put the right amount of American cheese in.
no vegetables. Put some ground beef in there.
Oh my God. So do you think Kanye West is gonna actually run for president in 2024?
You know, it's so funny, the Kanye transformation, because back in 2016, I would play this game with all these people, the thought experiment, because I was watching what was happening with Trump, and I was seeing conservatives being really cross-pressured, right? Because at one level, they're like, I don't like Hillary Clinton, and I'm a Republican, I want the Republican to win. But also some part of a huge percentage of people were like, this guy should not be president, like, obviously. And I would go around, we had this brainstorming session, like, who is the Democratic Party version of that? Who would be the person that if you're a Democrat and it's a primary, you're like, I don't think this, and the person we came up with was Kanye.
Wow.
And this was before the MAGA turn, where I was like, yeah, if Kanye West was leading the Democratic primary, I would have to be like, no, Kanye shouldn't have the nuclear codes. And then, after we came up with this thought experiment, then he just went full
MAGA.
Full MAGA head.
Damn.
So if he ran, he'd have to run as like probably a Republican, correct?
I don't know, man. That'd be wild. He could probably do all right in the Democratic primary, but he wouldn't last that long. I think he probably would have a shot. It's going to be him and Don Jr. in 2024.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's bleak.
I'll be in
That's super.
That is a real bleak.
That's super, listen, if that's the case, you're gonna have to start drinking on your show. Jesus.
Can you imagine covering
Oh
that?
my God. Oh.
Yo, so your direct competition, correct me if I'm wrong, is Tucker Carlson.
Oh, you know who that guy is?
The guy, yeah, the guy with the fat face and the bow tie.
Was that the guy that got you put in Twitter
That was the guy who put him in
Yeah,
jail.
oh yeah,
Right?
that jerk off.
Shout out to my man Mero, defending the pride of the
my honor.
Bronx.
You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Because I know MSNBC's probably like, yo, Chris,
yeah.
chill. I know they probably told you to chill.
Like, Meryl's got it handled.
Listen, Bronx
Like,
residents protect Bronx residents.
Right.
Okay?
We all live in the same building.
I had like
Rich, tell him.
I had like 50 tweets in all caps drafted about how I was going to square up with him at the Bay Plaza parking lot. But I just never hit publish on him.
He
But
beats
then,
you to
like-
it.
And then just like in an amazing coincidence, you just tweeted
See?
on it.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna kick your ass in front of Bagel Cafe.
So Tucker Carlson has talked mad shit about you. Have you ever seen him in person?
Yeah, I've seen him.
Is he just like, hi, Chris?
No, he's fine. I mean, like,
How
Is it
tall
just
he?
TV?
I don't know. No, I mean, I think what happens is, look, I think you get acclimated. You know, I just did a podcast with Ted Cruz, you know, live. You know, you get acclimated to dealing. You get acclimated to dealing with folks in person that you have different politics from, or like say shit on the internet about you or on the show. Like at a certain point, it's like everybody's a public figure.
Right.
Like people are gonna say shit about me, and that's fine. That's like it's just what it is. You know, I'm not gonna. Everyone's just gonna kind of deal with that. I hate when people in public,
Right.
and with public platforms, I hate it when they whine about people criticizing them or talking shit about them.
Because it's to be expected.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Like buy the ticket, take the ride.
Yeah.
Like you can go work in a job where you don't have a big platform.
Right.
And people are gonna come for you if you have a big platform. Like, it's like with the billionaires whining all the time.
Yeah.
It's like,
Why? Oh, because you're a billionaire, motherfucker.
yeah, it's like,
You have a
well, I'm so
golden jet
sorry.
ski.
You're a
Yeah.
billionaire. Like, people are gonna criticize you.
Sorry, Jeff Bezos.
He's watching this at home. Like,
Do you read your Twitter mentions?
I do. But
All of them.
I don't.
Yeah. Careful.
I don't. No, I mean, they come up, and like, I think the thing is because I've been on Twitter since 2008. Like, I grew up on Twitter. Like, I know how to read I know how to read the mentions, and like, people just like, yo, blah, 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 you guys are not funny. And I'm like, oh, well, the Showtime check's still clear. So,
Yeah.
you know, like, I don't give a shit about Twitter.
After like my third Twitter jail bit, I was just like, you know what?
Do you feel like, how much
No,
longer?
because I feel like it can get in your head, A, but B, yes, you get good at screening it out. But then every once in a while, like someone will get your number.
Well, here's
Like those are the ones. Like there's all sorts of people say shit about you. That's fine. But every once in a while, like someone gets your number a little bit.
Right.
And you're like-
But I just remember, shout out to Charlemagne, who told me this advice. He was like, people love your show. And when you tweet something, instead of tweeting directly at you, just press like. So you have a tweet and it has like 4,000 likes.
Right.
And you'll have a hater underneath that tweet.
Right, and you just see the
directly at
number,
you.
right.
And you're like, why are you reacting to the one hater and not the 4,000 people who like you?
Right.
Like, you have to conserve your energy
Right.
on Twitter. And if you don't do that, you can't be on Twitter for a long time.
A good thing to do that doesn't come off as thirsty at all. If you just follow all the people that like the tweet, and then you just DM them and be like, "What'd you like about that tweet?" It's like I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
What'd you like about that tweet?
I'm workshopping.
I saw you liked it.
Yeah.
So maybe you could just tell me what you
Like, you
liked.
got 5 minutes for a focus group? You gotta give him
Cash out me
a
$5.
You gotta give him a gift card at the end? Oh, man. Do you still play football?
I don't play football. We used to play
We used to play tackle football.
in
on
the
a
concrete
tennis
schoolyard.
court. Oh my God.
New York
We used to
shit.
play- we
Bronx
used to-
shit.
Yo, fam.
Full, and that was like, there was also a transition period. It was like 4th or 5th grade. When we went from two-hand touch, we were like, we're men now.
We went to full tackle.
We're men now. We need to play tackle.
And then a
we're
kid
like
got
little
hurt.
11-year-old kids.
A kid got hurt on the actual playground that we played on, and they banned tackle. So we started playing on the tennis courts in Co-op City. We were wildin'. We were in a gifted program.
We were in the gifted program, so we had to prove ourselves even more.
Yeah, because the other kids thought we were soft.
That's right.
Yeah.
So then we were like,
yeah. We're like, we're not
full
nerds.
tackle.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're reading Catcher in the Rye in 4th grade.
And like half the class has concussions.
Yes, all of them. Chris, I want you to break my heart. Have you ever rapped?
No.
Thank you. Thank you.
A true ally.
This is what allies look like.
True ally.
A true ally. I was hoping there wasn't a YouTube clip right there.
Oh my God, could you imagine if I was like, no, and then like 30 seconds later, producer's like, well, what about this?
I'm like, Chris, what are you doing?
It's a freestyle over House of Pain.
No.
No, turn it off.
Yo, Chris, we could chop it up with you all day, but sadly, this interview has to come to an end. You know what it is. Got the Bodega behind us. Inside Bodegas are neon signs. What would you like your neon sign to say?
Don't overthink it.
That's smart. Yes. Thanks, Chris Hayes. Listen, if you want to be smart, watch All In with Chris Hayes weekdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on MSNBC. Get up for the homie Chris Hayes, DX all day.
Also, if he was a rapper, it would be
True ally.
A true ally, yeah.